Good evening, my fellow scientists. It is Friday, December 22nd, 2017, and I want to talk about an article I just read on placentophagy, the act of eating the placenta after giving birth. I gather that there is some folk belief that eating the placenta has health benefits and that it can cure postpartum depression. And this study examined that by preparing placenta for consenting women and seeing if it had any effect as compared to beef and a non-beef substitute prepared similarly. And no, there was no significant effect on the things that they measured. There were effects of things like family happiness on postpartum depression, but no effect of the placenta on postpartum depression. One wonders if there was an effect of the placentophagy on family happiness, but I digress. The whole thing reminded me of a catering show from a year or two ago that just cracked me up.
According to no clinical research whatsoever, eating your own placenta can cure postnatal depression.
So if you are amused by this sort of line of reasoning, I do recommend that. The link is in the description. The whole thing is a good example of something that's going to make some people uncomfortable. It's going to make some people mad because they want to believe that this has an effect, and it didn't show any effect, and it's going to make some people mad because they're going to say it's gross. And honestly, none of that matters to the science. It either has an effect or it doesn't. And I am frustrated by the superstition on both sides. The superstition that says this is going to have an effect whether or not we can measure it, and the superstition that says we shouldn't measure it because it's gross. These are non-scientific ideas, and I don't like them. Reminds me of a story my grandmother told years and years ago. When she had her fourth child, she asked the doctor if there was any use for the cells in the umbilical cord or in the placenta, if those couldn't be used for something in research or science. And the doctor responded, "No, they're just garbage. They're just garbage. You don't just throw them away. They're garbage." And he had a certain angry dismissal, which confused her at the time, because why would he be angry and dismissive of this idea? And it has probably had a lot to do with sexism, as well as a reaction to perceived superstition. But my grandmother wasn't superstitious. She was legitimately curious about the biology. And she's been vindicated, because in years past, cord blood and banked placental cells are now important in research, and they're being used for transplants, and they're important cells. She was 100% right. But later I realized that I'll bet that doctor thought that she was hinting at, should I be eating the placenta? Which is not at all true. But I think that's why he reacted in that way. Hard to say at this point, but it's a very different perspective, and not very scientific on that doctor's part, really, because it hadn't been tested until now. How could he know if that was going to make a difference or not? Anyway, tune in Monday through Friday. We talk about science and humor and superstition occasionally right here in the Alleb Lab.